Right now, as you're watching this, you exist inside a universe that appears unimaginably vast. A universe filled with hundreds of billions of galaxies, each galaxy containing hundreds of billions of stars, each star potentially surrounded by worlds we may never see. The observable universe stretches roughly 93 billion light-years across. Yet despite all of this cosmic immensity, scientists still cannot answer one of the most fundamental questions ever asked. A question so profound that it has haunted philosophers, physicists, theologians, and dreamers for thousands of years. A question that challenges the very limits of human understanding. What existed before the universe? Before Earth? Before the Sun? Before the Milky Way? Before the first atom? Before the first particle? Before space? Before time? Before reality itself? Was there an infinite darkness? A cosmic void? Another universe? A higher dimension? Or is the question itself impossible to answer? Because the deeper we investigate the beginning of existence, the stranger reality becomes. And what scientists have discovered is far more unsettling than most people realize. Because according to some theories, the universe may have emerged from nothing. According to others, it may have existed forever. And according to a few, our entire cosmos may be only a tiny fragment of something vastly larger. Something beyond space, beyond time, and beyond human comprehension. Tonight, we journey to the very edge of knowledge itself, to explore one of the greatest mysteries in existence. What existed before the universe? To understand what may have existed before the universe, we first need to understand how scientists believe our universe began. For centuries, humanity assumed the universe had always existed. The stars seemed eternal. The heavens appeared unchanging. Many ancient civilizations believed the cosmos had no beginning and no end. But in the 20th century, everything changed. Astronomers discovered something astonishing. The universe is expanding. Galaxies are moving away from one another in every direction. The farther away a galaxy is, the faster it appears to be receding. This discovery suggested a remarkable possibility. If the universe is expanding today, then in the distant past it must have been smaller. And if we continue tracing that process backward, everything eventually converges toward a single origin, a moment when the entire observable universe was compressed into an unimaginably hot and dense state. This became known as the Big Bang. But despite the name, the Big Bang was not an explosion. There was no empty space surrounding it. There was no giant fireball expanding into darkness. Instead, space itself was expanding. The universe wasn't growing into something. The universe was creating space as it expanded. And that's where things start becoming difficult to imagine. Because every experience you've ever had occurs within space. Yet the Big Bang describes the creation of space itself. As scientists traced the universe backward through time, they encountered a problem. The closer they approached the beginning, the more extreme conditions became. Temperatures rose, density increased, energy became unimaginable. Eventually, the equations predicted something impossible, an infinitely dense point, a singularity. At this singularity, all known laws of physics collapse. Gravity becomes infinite, density becomes infinite, temperature becomes infinite, and our mathematical models stop working. Imagine driving toward the edge of a map. At first, everything is clear. Roads, cities, landmarks. Then suddenly the map ends. Beyond that point, there is no information. This is where modern physics currently stands. Scientists can describe much of what happened after the Big Bang. But when we approach the very first fraction of a second, our understanding begins to fail. The universe reaches a state where our current theories can no longer explain what happened. And that leaves a profound question. Was the singularity truly the beginning? Or is it simply evidence that our theories are incomplete? Many physicists suspect the second option is more likely, because infinities often signal that something is missing from the equation. Something deeper, something yet undiscovered. Now we arrive at a strange paradox. When people ask, what existed before the universe? They are assuming something very important. They're assuming time already existed. But what if time itself began with the Big Bang? This idea sounds bizarre, yet it emerges naturally from Einstein's theory of relativity. According to relativity, space and time are not separate things. They form a unified structure known as spacetime. The two are woven together. Change space, and you affect time. Change time, and you affect space. If space-time itself emerged during the Big Bang, then asking what happened before it may be meaningless. Consider the North Pole. You can travel north from Canada, north from Greenland, north from Russia. But once you reach the North Pole, there is no further north. The concept ceases to exist. Similarly, if time began at the Big Bang, there may be no before. Not because nothing existed, but because the word before requires time, and time may not have existed yet. This is one of the most mind-bending ideas in modern science. The universe may not have emerged from an earlier moment. It may represent the first moment itself, the beginning of time, the beginning of causality, the beginning of everything we mean by existence. One of the most controversial ideas in cosmology is that the universe emerged from nothing. At first glance, this sounds absurd. How can something come from nothing? After all, every experience in daily life suggests the opposite. Things require causes, effects require origins. Yet quantum physics reveals a reality that behaves very differently from our everyday world. At the quantum level, empty space isn't truly empty. Particles constantly appear and disappear. Energy fluctuates continuously. Even a perfect vacuum possesses structure and activity. Some physicists have proposed that the universe itself emerged through such a quantum process. A tiny fluctuation, an instability, a spontaneous event. Given enough time, or perhaps outside of time entirely, a universe could potentially emerge. But critics point out an important problem. The quantum vacuum isn't actually nothing. It still contains physical laws, quantum fields, underlying structures. And that leads us to an even deeper question. Where did those come from? The mystery doesn't disappear. It simply moves further back. Now imagine something even stranger. What if our universe is only one universe among countless others? This idea is known as the multiverse. According to some cosmological models, new universes may constantly form, each one emerging like a bubble inside an infinite cosmic landscape. Some universes might resemble ours. Others could possess entirely different laws of physics, different dimensions, different particles, different forms of matter. Some might collapse instantly. Others could persist for trillions of years. In an infinite multiverse, every possible universe may eventually exist somewhere, including universes where history unfolded differently, universes where humanity never evolved, universes where Earth never formed, universes where physics itself operates according to completely unfamiliar rules. In this framework, our universe may not represent the beginning of everything. It may simply be one chapter in a much larger reality, a single bubble in an endless sea. Some scientists have proposed an entirely different possibility. What if the universe has no beginning at all? What if reality exists in endless cycles? Birth, expansion, death, rebirth, again and again, for eternity. In these models, the Big Bang was not the first event. It was merely the latest event. The previous universe may have collapsed, its immense energy compressed into an extreme state, then rebounded into a new expansion, creating the cosmos we inhabit today. If this theory is correct, there may have been countless universes before ours, each one giving rise to the next, an infinite chain stretching backward through eternity, without a first beginning, without an ultimate origin. What if our universe is not all that exists? Imagine a fish living inside a pond. Everything the fish has ever known exists within the water. The fish cannot easily imagine mountains, forests, or the sky above. Likewise, human beings may be trapped within the limits of our own cosmic perspective. Some theories suggest our universe may exist inside a higher dimensional reality, a realm containing dimensions we cannot directly perceive. Our entire universe could be embedded within a much larger structure. What appears to us as the birth of reality might simply be an event occurring within this higher realm. Just as a wave forms on the surface of an ocean, the wave experiences a beginning, but the ocean already existed. If such higher dimensions exist, then the true nature of reality may be far larger than anything we currently understand. Perhaps the most unsettling possibility is that humanity may never know the answer. Not because the answer doesn't exist, but because our minds may be fundamentally limited. Every creature perceives reality through its own biological constraints. Dogs hear sounds humans cannot hear. Eagles see details humans cannot see. Bats navigate using senses humans do not possess. What if there are aspects of reality that human brains simply cannot comprehend? The origin of existence itself may belong to that category, a truth beyond our cognitive reach, a mystery too vast for any human mind to fully grasp. It's a humbling thought. Yet throughout history, many things once considered impossible to understand eventually became clear. Perhaps the same will happen with the universe's origin, or perhaps some mysteries remain eternal. So, what existed before the universe? The honest answer is simple. We don't know. Maybe nothing. Maybe a quantum vacuum, maybe a multiverse, maybe an infinite cycle of universes, maybe higher dimensions, or perhaps something so strange that current science has not yet imagined it. What makes this mystery so fascinating isn't merely the lack of an answer. It's the realization that the deeper we investigate reality, the more mysterious existence becomes. Every answer reveals a deeper question. Every discovery opens another door, and beyond that door lies another mystery waiting to be explored. Because in the end, the greatest question may not be what existed before the universe. The greatest question may be why anything exists at all. Why there is something rather than nothing. Why reality exists. Why consciousness emerged. Why the cosmos gave rise to beings capable of wondering where it came from. And perhaps, somewhere beyond the edge of time, beyond the beginning of space, beyond the limits of human knowledge, the answer is waiting. The universe may have a beginning, but the mystery may be infinite.
Thanks for watching. If this video made you pause, question, or see things differently, then it did its job. Feel free to explore more ideas here, and as always, keep thinking.